Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Interesting article, and it's good to see where America's priorities are, and that's situational. So sometimes they're very concerned about something, and sometimes they're not very concerned about the same thing. It's just based on the situation, not on values and principles. Well, I think, let's see what this article reveals. And this article comes from the Kiev Independent, which is from New York Times, actually, who said that Russian ambassador claims U.S. threatened Russia over arrest of Gershkovich. Now, Gershkovich is that, the correspondent, right, that was arrested by, here you have him, there you have him, the reporter that was arrested by the Russians and was charged with espionage. And immediately the US government and the Wall Street Journal, the weasel place he works at, called on Russia to release him because he didn't do anything wrong. They know he didn't do anything wrong. Okay. Usually you find out if someone did something wrong through an investigation, but it seems like these guys already know, including the Wall Street Journal. Wall Street Journal somehow knows that Evan Gershkovich is not working for, let's say, CIA. They somehow know. Okay, well. So, Russia's ambassador to the US, Anatoly Antonov, told Russia's state-controlled, see how they put all these things? Then they had a problem with PBS and with NPR. Oh no, they're not state controlled. They're just this and that. When what's his name? And they're not state controlled whatsoever, as Elon Musk said on Twitter. Remember when he attached that little thing? And not everybody, weasels said no. All right. Anyway, so state-controlled Channel 1 that the United States threatened Russia with what he called, and I'm calling, retaliatory measures. You see how careful they are to say the Russian ambassador claims, right? It doesn't say Russian ambassador says that this guy. No, he claims. So it's up to up for grabs. We're going to find out later if really that happened. Which is, yeah, that's accurate. But it's very interesting how they are capable of using this kind of, I would say, way semantics. Which that's the way it should be. Yeah, he claims. We don't know yet. But they don't say the same thing when, let's say, Zelensky said something or Biden said. They don't use claims. They use a different word over there. And the same here. What he called. Again, that's all these words are doubtful words. Retaliatory measures. Like, hey, you said that. But he called it. I don't know if that's true. Basically, if Russia refused to return Wall Street Journal reporter. So that's what the ambassador said, claims that, according to him, United States issued retaliatory measures, threatened Russia, he called retaliatory measures, if Russia refused to return Wall Street Journal reporter. It's very interesting that that guy, Whalen, remember that Marine that was mentioned only when Griner, I was going to say Brittany Griner was, they used it so it doesn't look too obvious that it was about her, not about him. And that proves because he's still there. She's out. And he was a Marine and he was, again, with espionage things, but she was just out and they fought for her like crazy, like Second World War. Anyway, the same here. It's interesting that they are so concerned, and they should be concerned with free mass media correspondence, you know what I mean? But I didn't hear New York Times or anybody else in the West media or the US government being, denouncing let's say, the assassination of that Russian blogger. All right? Why? Because according to these guys, that guy is a propagandist. But according to them, Gershkovich is not a propagandist, is a outstanding individual. But the Russians see it differently and they say we caught him red-handed. take a picture. Ah, hey, But anyway, let's see what happens. It's just a double standard, and as I said, they pick their priorities. That's another article that I wanted to cover, and I'm probably going to cover in the future, because it doesn't matter if I can cover it today, yesterday, or in a week. It still has value. There's another guy who is in China. He's been spending 10 years in China, and he was just, again, the death penalty was upheld by some Chinese court for this guy, again, for drugs. Something related to drugs in China. So this guy, American citizen, was held in Chinese prison, or whatever it is, for 10 years for drug-related charges. And he's still there. He was, I think in 2019, they said, well, charged with, you're going to convicted, you're going to be death penalty right here. And now again, they say they're going to take care of this guy. I haven't heard the United States going and threatening China or anything for drug-related issues. I don't know what he did. He supposedly used some this on that. And that brings him back to Griner case, which she was liberated, freed in how many months? And that guy is over there for 10 years with China, which is not, our enemy, like Russia is the bad guys. We were able to secure the release of this basketball player from the bad Russians. But we are not capable of, fighting for that guy who's in prison for 10 years. And now we're fighting for this guy again, like crazy, according to the Russian ambassador, threatening Russia because of this guy. But on the other hand, Daria Dugina was blown up with a car assassination in Moscow. I didn't hear anybody being so upset about it. I'm talking about the free mass media, the lovers of freedom and free speech. I didn't hear anybody crying about the blogger, what was his name, Turchinsky, Tarakevich, whatever his name was. Remember that guy who was just blown up a week ago in St. Petersburg? If you don't like what someone says, does that person deserve what that guy got? Take it however you want. You tell me. Because that's a sign that other people that might speak or say something that these guys disagree, they will think that that kind of action is legitimate. And it's not. The same with Dugina. What was her fault? Because she said things that these guys didn't like? You see? I cannot support an entity or a person who or that is picking and choosing to be fair here but not fair here. Having a sense of situational morality. If you're against incest or against rape, which you should be against it in all cases, regardless if Uncle Gigi did it, or Michael, or Tom, or someone that I don't know. The same thing. That's called a principled man, or human being, or an entity is just. Like this, when I'm going to hear these guys condemning and, over and over, whomever blown those guys up, and then the guy who is rotting right now, rotting in China for 10 years, and when I see Whalen being given the same effort by the U.S. government, it doesn't matter if it's Biden or Trump or Tom Jones, that he can't be, but anyway. Anyway, you know what I mean? When I see the same effort for all American citizens, regardless of then I would say, yes, man, yes. Until then, it makes me vomit. You know why? Because I'm on their side. And I'm thinking, I'm on your side, but I don't think that's right. Do you do anything? Shut that up. The world doesn't work like that. Doesn't go around like you think. When I don't think that way, I already know how it goes. You got this. That's what matters. The rest is just blah, 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 blah. Let's go and see what else this article has to say. Antonov claims to have met with Victoria Nuland, a cookie right here, the Undersecretary of State for Political Affairs. Biden said I believe that she threatens the way she is, but hey, I think I have the right to believe in certain things and express my beliefs believes, again, is not based on evidence necessary. Biden said on April 5 that the release of Gershkovich is a top priority for the administration. What about Whelan? Where's Whelan? While Blinken demanded his immediate release, and Russia just went and used the restroom for that and did not flush. Anyway, Gershkovich was arrested in Yekaterinburg while working on a story about the Wagner mercenary group recruiting local residents as well as Russian citizens' view on the full-scale invasion of Ukraine. So how come he was allowed to do that freely in Russia, bad country? And the Russians said, no, we caught you red-handed, and that's it. Russia accused him of being a spy and arrested him for espionage. You see, accused him and claimed, but here they tell us exactly what he was doing. He was working. It doesn't say they claim he was working, allegedly he was working on a story. No, he was working. That's what you have to, he was working 100%, okay? But here, well, accused him of being a claim that the US government and the Wall Street Journal vehemently deny. They should not know, right here. They should know. All right, espionage in Russia carries a maximum jail term of 20 years. Well, Greener got 9.5 years and she got out in 9 months or something. And remember how they use this. Russia's ambassador, right? He called retaliatory mission, not what he called. And here he claims, but down here, no way, man. That's why he was arrested while working on a story about the Wagner mercenary group. Not allegedly, not not what Washington Wall Street Journal alleges or claims. Nothing like that here. So I can't be an idiot, and I don't want to be an idiot. That means I'm not going to lower my intelligence because I have to be on their side. I'm on the side of the truth, not these guys or that guys, because they're all lying. They're all poor, they all have interest. And when you have big crimes occurring, then the lie is going to get bigger and bigger and reckless. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I hope the guy, gets investigated fairly, gets a fair trial, and whatever he did or he didn't, they find whatever. But as Ukrainians and the Americans are, trying all kind of people, and they don't invite anybody else, then the same thing the Russians will do. Will not invite anybody else. It's our investigation. Hey, what happened with Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 pipelines? Were the Russians invited? No. The Danish people over there and the Swedish people over there and the Germans just hopping over the fence. Hey, are you there? Have you done it? What's going on? Nothing. The Russians are looking through a hole in the wall. Hey, what's going on over there? And that's freedom and lovers of justice. With that, it's been almost 7 months since Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 pipelines is blown up. Have you heard anything lately? It's dead. They want to kill the whole story. Imagine if things would be reversed. Let's say that pipe would have been American pipe. Between, America and Canada, let's put it this way. And blown up by, I don't know. I think that would have been found the day before it even exploded. Anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.